So, do you want to run people quickly through what Stephen might be flying?
Yes, this is the one we're interested in. We have the 3 Protectorate Aces and the 3 Imperial Aces, almost. It's Fenrirau and Old Terok and Cad Solus, the 3 named Protectorate Starfighters that just came out in Wave 9. We actually reviewed just a couple of weeks ago when it was live and new, brand new. So the Protectorate, Fenrirau, has Fearlessness, Concord Dawn Protector, and Stealth Device. Unusual having the Stealth Device in there, but that gives them a bit of extra agility in there. All of these ships have almost the same 2 upgrades. All of them have Stealth Device, all of them have Concord Dawn Protector, because why wouldn't you at one point?
Yep.
The only thing that changes is their elite talents. Fenrir has Fearlessness, so he adds that extra dice at range 1. That is a key thing if he's in the firing arc.
I'm not sure we've got lists for Sam Scott.
That will be an interesting thing if we don't. We'll see. We'll just have to play it by ear and see what we get. We have Veteran Instincts on Old Terok to bring him from pilot skill 7 up to a 9. Just a pilot skill bid there. So then Fenrir and Old Terok are working at the same pilot skill. It makes it a good synergy there, I think.
Yeah.
Then finally Cad Solus with Stay on Target.
I guess that's really leveraging that
The
pilot
ability. After you execute a red maneuver, assign 2 focus tokens to your ship. Stay on target, change it to whatever maneuver. I'm always going to get those 2 focus tokens, but I am stressed.
Well, with Cad Solus and the Protectorate dial in general, it means you can dial in a 2-speed maneuver and do almost every maneuver in the game. You don't have a K-turn there, you don't have an S-loop there, but you've got Talon rolls and then every single turn bank straight. So it gives you a very flexible ship all of a sudden, and something that's very difficult for your opponents to predict.
The other list which Stephen is running is Darth Vader with TIE X1, Predator, Stealth Device, and Advanced Target Computer. Stealth Device is the flavour of choice in these 2 lists, it seems.
It works so well with Agility 3 ships.
Juno Eclipse is with the same upgrades except for Push the Limit as her elite pilot talent. And finally, the Omicron Group pilot, which literally just has Palpatine. It's there to ferry Palpatine around in all his regal glory, and that is it. I'm disappointed we don't see any Royal Guards with that shot. That's the thing, you never see Royal Guards with the Palpatine shot, and I think maybe you could probably fit in like almost an 8 a Royal Guard swarm almost.
I think the Royal Guard is... I think it's an interestingly put together ship. I think it's very well costed, but it's with an Interceptor, it's really hard not to push for those really high pilot skills and try and get yourself into a position where you can leverage that repositional ability to its maximum potential. Had we got a couple of comments in the stream there?
We do indeed have a couple of comments. We have Big Sonora Dutch, that's great. So we've got 1 vote for Big Sonora and Dutch, which is Max Bull's list. That's nice. It'd be interesting how arcs play. I completely agree. There's no guarantee we'll get the arcs in, because of course with it being Hangar Bay, they may choose for the better list for them. And Foxtrot saying the internet sucks, which generally it is a wretched hive of scum and villainy in most instances. We try and be friendly and polite, and we are constructive in our criticism. We are very critical of certain things, but we try to keep it cool, as they say. Yeah. All right, I'm going to go and see if we can get the points on the list. I'll be right back, people.
So I suspect we don't have a list, unfortunately, for one of the 2 players, which might leave us guessing a little bit. But Elliot's gone to see what he can round up for us. It's good to see a decent showing from the Protectorate Starfighter as well. Personally, it's the ship from Wave 9 that I was and still am the most excited about. It's the agile ace that the scum have really been missing, and it's a well designed, interestingly designed ship as well, because it was filling some of the same design space as the TIE Interceptor. It's a more aggressive, less defensive ship. It's very much emphasising the idea that you race in, you get into range 1, and you push damage through on things as quickly as you can. Which, frankly speaking, is how I tend to want to play the game. I've tried the TIE Interceptor a few times and found you need to play it in a very cautious, considered fashion, and do a lot of taking turns of not taking shots to make sure that you don't suffer damage in return. And if you can do it, it's fantastic. But my inherent playstyle lends itself towards race forwards, get your guns on target, take things down as fast as you can. I think Elliot has popped out to address some people on the stream. I really like the 2 Talon roll on the dial as well. It's a very short maneuver. It lets you keep arc, and it lets you stay in that kind of like knife fighting range that the ship really wants to have. And on someone like Fen Rao, it's a really strong way of getting those range 1 bonuses that then get doubled up.
So we've got Sam Scott's list.
Ah, fantastic.
We have a Rebel and Imperialist. A Rebel with Horton, Aloasti, and Nera. With Imperial, it's Rayard, Quick Draw, and the Inquisitor.
I think this is going to be an interesting matchup. There's a little bit of Wave 9
in both. Yeah, I do think that's a great thing. We got a B-wing with some munitions. So very often you don't see Nera, Dantels, which is nice. You got Aloasti.
Actually, no, we don't have anything Wave 9 in the Rebels.
Not in the Rebel one, but it's still it's ships we don't see
stuff.
a lot. We don't see Asti a lot. We don't see Nera a lot. We got Quick Draw in the Imperial. So I think either way we're golden for this one.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good match.
I think we're going to see some good stuff. And I'm keen to see these 2 players go against each other as well. I think Sam again is reasonably new to the game.
He is reasonably new.
But he's been learning quickly. He's been going to a lot of events, and he's put together some interesting looking lists as well.
The day I get a car. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. Asti with PTL and BB-8, I think that could be a very interesting list to have a look at. I mean, nothing
You've
Wave
got a very
9,
nimble ship, and because of how those interactions work, you can push the limit off that BB-8 barrel roll, shed your stress with a green maneuver, and leave LO with that possibility of doing those white Talon rolls.
Now, I do believe that both lists are 100 points. So we're gonna Sam's running at 100 points, and Stephen Sage is at 95 with the 3 Protectorates, which he seems to have chosen. He's really bidding low.
He wants to make sure that pilot skill 9 comes into play as hard as it possibly can.
And it seems to have worked. He's chosen the Protectorates, and we have the Imperial list chosen by Sam. So we've got a Scum versus Imperial list. So I think it's good. And both Wave 9
Excellent.
being used. So
this is what we wanted to see.
Why don't you go through the exact details of Sam's list while I get the overlay sorted out?
So Sam is doing... we have got Countess Ryad with... As we were discussing earlier, the classic Ryad build. Push the limit to give her a bit of extra action efficiency, and take advantage of the fact that you've got a bunch of green manoeuvres effectively on their dial. With the TIE-X7 title in there as well. So you can do green take K-turns. If it's 3 speed or higher, you're getting that free evade. You can push the limit, focus and target lock. And suddenly you're looking at a ship that's very difficult to hurt, very difficult to hit, and is potentially capable of dishing out quite a lot of damage as well. You've got Quick Draw in the TIE SF, and she's a new pilot from Wave 9. She's got an interesting ability we'll go into in a moment, but we'll just quickly run through her upgrades. So she's got Rage, take a stress, gain a focus, take 2 stress. You can gain a focus token, and you can re-roll, I believe it's up to 3 dice on all of your attacks for the remainder of the turn. Electronic Baffle, so when you take a point of stress, you can take a damage instead to not to have to deal with that stress point. And you've got the Special Ops title, giving you an extra red dice out the front. Or if you don't want to take the extra red dice, you can instead shoot both out of your front and rear arcs. So if you're in the right position, that's potentially a lot of shots in the turn. Where this particularly comes into play is with Quick Draw's pilot ability, as she can, when she loses a shield, make an attack immediately as a result. And if you've got Rage and Baffle as your combo on there, that does potentially mean that she can Rage, get the stress, baffle it off, lose a shield as a result of doing that, and take a shot during the activation phase. And this means that Stephen maybe needs to be just a tiny bit careful with those pilot skill 9 pilots of his, because Quick Draw can potentially put herself into a position where she can take shots on them before they've moved, before they've activated, and importantly, before they've taken any actions. So no defensive tokens at all.
Yeah, that could play into... That could have a big bearing on the match, I think. Especially since the Protectorates have, no shields at all.
No shields at all, just the 4 hull each.
That's it. So they are very vulnerable to simply crits, and it makes setting them up very easily, I think.
That little bit of extra durability over the TIE Interceptor is something I like, but again, no evade action.
No evade action. So you're going to need the extra hull, really.
And then last of all, Stephen's got what I think is a bit of a favourite of his, the Inquisitor in the TIE Advanced prototype with Push the Limit, auto thrusters, the TIE V1 title, and some proton rockets. So if you're outside of range 1, you can shoot as though you are at range 1. And if you're actually at range 1, you can shoot your proton rockets.
Awesome.
You're hitting hard, you're difficult to hit in return. It's a strong addition to any list. And at 34 points, it does quite a lot.
And we're into asteroid deployment almost immediately there. Very tactical, it seems. Very quick on the mark there. They seem to know exactly where the asteroids are going down. This is the sign that Sam is probably learning a lot from his previous games. So we've got Sam Scott and Stephen Skage. It's kind of... I feel like I'm in comic book land. You know, the alliteration surnames.
I think we're likely to see some quite tight obstacle placement here. Well, in fact, we are seeing some quite tight obstacle placement here because both sides have got agile ships.
Yes, both of them have got agile ships.
And they want to be able to use those obstacles to their advantage where they can.
Okay, he's obviously opting to put that ready there, the croissant as I like to call it. Let's see if that will come into play. Very small asteroids. I've always thought big asteroids kind of mess up the smaller ships much more. Thus it's better to take the larger ones because you can probably navigate around them easier if you've got like smaller ships. Because you know them, you know how big they are, they know how... Because the smaller ones, I think, barely get used.
With certainly Stephen's list, I've been quite inclined to go for some large obstacles and make life difficult for your opponent.
Particularly because you have the Talon rolls.
Yeah.
Because you can Talon roll around an asteroid, catch someone out of arc, and they're dead to rights almost.
Sam, maybe a little bit less. The TIE SF does have, for a TIE fighter, quite a limited dial. There's a lot of red on there comparative to a lot of Imperial ships. And Ryad doesn't really want to be turning around when she can avoid it. She wants to be flying in a straight line and then K-turning, and then flying in a straight line and then K-turning. That's not as much the case if you've got the TIE Mark II modification on there, but I don't think this Ryad build does.
No.
So he is very tied to those 3, 4, and 5 green forwards if he's trying to bleed the stress off and push the limit.
It's interesting to note that Stephen's list was the one that went to the final salvo in the last round, which the needless final salvo in the end, but it was still for a while thought to be a very close match. And could we see like a repeat this round, I wonder?
The Protectorate Starfighter is very much a win big or die gloriously type of ship.
I'm going to find out which the Protectorate is which.
Fair point.
And straighten on that board a little bit as well.
It's got a lot of offensive output, particularly when you're looking at Fenrir with Fearlessness. You're throwing 5 red dice and then you're adding a hit result into the mix, so that is a lot of damage right out the gate. And even so, they're all still 3 attack ships. Those 4 agility effectively on each of them, thanks to the stealth device, might make that initial joust a little easier for him as well. Somewhere the Protectorate can really suffer is the initial exchange. If you don't manage to get range 1, if you're not kicking off your Concord Dawn title, things like that, then suddenly you are 4 hull behind 3 dice, no evade action available to you, so you can get a bit fragile. The Protectorate Starfighter is a ship that really requires you not to make mistakes while you're flying it. If you can fly it well and get the approach you want, judge your distances right, drill that rule of 11 into your head about where your exchanges are likely to happen. Range 3 is fine for you, range 1 is fine for you, range 2 is just bad news. Because you want your auto thrusters kicking in, or you want the Concord Drawn Protectorate title to kick in as well. And if you've not got one of those, then it's very easy for you to start clocking up damage, particularly when you've got no shields at all to potentially provide you with a bit of a buffer against critical damage.
Rage.
Interestingly, for an Imperial list, Sam's actually got the more durable ships.
Yes.
Of the two. Quick Draw is 3 hull, 3 shields, so that's quite a lot to chew through. Only 2 agility, but even so, it's a reasonably tanky thing. It's up there alongside the T-70 X-wing. The Inquisitor is, again, you're looking at a native 3 agility and some shields. Oh, and we're off. And I think that's Cad Solus going for a long. I think that was a 5
look at that.
straight.
That's
possibly a boost in there as well.
He's
closing the distance as quick as he can.
Right in there. He's not holding back at all.
Stevens bringing the Inquisitor around very slowly and cautiously by comparison, and I can't blame him. He wants to get this approach right, and he doesn't want the Inquisitor to actually end up at range 1 of any of Stephen's ships if he can avoid it.
Yeah, that's where you do not want to end up at all.
And then I think that's old Terok again, coming forwards nice and fast, boosting forwards. There Stephen is just going for raw speed here.
He's completely going for it. He's not, like I say, he's not holding back at all. He seems to. That's how you tend to fly these Protectorate Starfighters. It's go big or go home with them. Very similar to how I fly E-Wings. You have to go in there and just go for the throat, otherwise you'll never get anywhere.
Yeah.
You don't want to spend your time just trying to evade. You'll be round there all day, no one will win. You need to commit.
Okay, so Fenrir is also going for a boost, but he is boosting himself round to the side. And I think what Stephen's potentially trying to do here is spread his arcs just a little bit, make it a little easier to make sure that he's catching people to get those shots. But he's tied down Fenrir's manoeuvring options quite a lot there. That obstacle is putting him in a position where he can only really afford to. There's no forward movement happening, certainly.
Yeah, nowhere near. All right, so the overlay is now ready. Let's bring it up so viewers can see exactly what's going on. Ding. There we go. Voila. Okay, so I'm actually really excited for this match. It's a great kind of even list almost. It's 3 versus 3. I know we're cutting off some of the bottom board there, people. There's not much we can do about that. The cameras, we want to get a better camera rig, but unfortunately it's the tallest camera rig we could find. So until we get something like some kind of a hanging mount, which I'm sure we'll look into. And here,
No.
I'm not sure what happened there. Oh my goodness. What is this?
Did
he forget to set up? Or is that like, because that's not even the right ship. That's a TIE Advance. That's one of Stephen's list. What was going on there, I wonder?
I'm not sure what's happening. We seem to have a slightly
discussion going on.
Bit of discussion between our players. I'm wondering if someone might have flown off the board edge.
No, because looking down there, you can just see it there.
Ah, there we go. Okay, so just a stray ship that somehow got into the equation. There, that's reassuring. I would have been sad to see Quick Draw not make it to that exchange.
And yes, he's got stealth device, not earth thrusters. Yeah, he's
stealth device on those ships.
Yeah,
of course, yes.
Because he's going for the 3. In fact, I need to put the. It's the first time I've had.
I'm so used to seeing the Concord Dawn Protector with, or the Protectorate Starfighter with auto thrusters. So we shall see if that
sorry, it's not a
works out well.
Bit of a Fold that. Bring that down. It would be the day that we had problems with our overlay, wouldn't it? The best laid plans of mice and men.
We're live on the internet. Twitch is working. I will take that.
Yeah, that's true. You can't complain with that, I guess. Okay, so that upgrade bar. He doesn't have veteran sinks. He instead has stay on target.
Okay, so we've got Ryad banking round, speed 3 maneuver, so picking up that evade token, and setting up a target lock across onto what I believe is Fenrau there at the front. So Fenrau needs to be a bit careful with where he goes, but we've got Cad Solus. Fortunately, we can't see the dial, so we're just going to have to rely. There we go. 5 forwards, very rapidly closing range. I'll be interested to see if he actually ends up with a shot on Ryad. On
quick draw.
On quick draw there.
I think his quick draw is really out of position. I think he's going to be outnumbered at this point. He's going to have 6 dice coming at him, and with 2 agility, he's not going to be able to take that. He's going to go down very quickly. He's not going to utilise his double tap either. Although it's worth noting, with Special Forces training, he will get an extra dice out of the front arc. The question is, who do you fire at?
I think quick draw is. Oh, now that's interesting. We've got a boost from Stephen
to get him in range 1 for the Concord Dawn Protector, most likely for the evade result.
Quick draw's not moved yet.
That is true.
Is he trying to block quick draw and stop her from coming further into the board?
Quite possibly. The thing is, this could work to quick draw's advantage if she can get past Cad Solus and block either Alterok. She could end up with a shot even on both Fenrau and Alterok or Cad Solus. She may get 2 targets in one round.
So we've got the Inquisitor coming in 3.
Target lock.
And with the V1 title, that will be an evade token there as well.
If he remembers. If
Sam remembers.
Ooh, window I think is passing.
Unless he's thinking about push the limit options.
Maybe. No, unfortunately, he's missed his window. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. There he goes. He'd get there eventually. Oh, dear. But it's worth noting they can't hear us, and we can't hear them. I was asked, can they hear us? And like, no, you're safe to use profanity, although we obviously at the store don't accept such language.
I remember my friend Ian was very concerned about the idea of being on stream just in case something slipped through, and until he was reassured there was no mic.
I remembered him saying that.
Okay, so I think that's Alterok moving into a position to strip tokens from the Inquisitor, and that's potentially going to leave the Inquisitor very, very vulnerable. Because if I'm remembering Alterok correctly, as long as you're in the Inquisitor's firing arc, that's going to be the Inquisitor losing both their focus and evade.
Protectorate Starfighters. Alterok's ability is at the start of the combat phase, you may choose one enemy ship at range 1. If you're inside its firing arc, it discards all focus and evade tokens, so it will only keep the target lock, and that is a big deal. And here comes Fenrau for a range 1 shot, and at range 1, Fenrau gets an extra dice.
Stevens manoeuvred this beautifully.
He has.
Like, this is just what you want to see with the Protectorate, and he's making completely the right call. Go for the target lock. Punch that damage through as hard as you can.
I hesitant to say that maybe the Inquisitor may be going down this round.
My gut instinct is that the Inquisitor isn't going to even get a shot.
This is a very brave list for a 95-point initiative bid. It's also worth noting this is the top table as far as I'm aware. So this is the very top.
However, we've got an interesting manoeuvre coming through here. Stevens misjudged Quick Draw's positioning, and Quick Draw is now in a position to potentially take 2 shots.
Yes.
Onto Alterok.
That's perfect. He can get 2 shots at Alterok and 2 shots out the back at range 1 onto Cad Solus. Which, because Cad Solus is snapping his firing arc, he will not get the benefit of Concord Dawn Protector.
So, interesting question for you, Elliot.
Yes.
Would you go for taking those 4 shots, that kind of like golden ideal with Quick Draw, or would you go for the 2 3-dice shots out the front in the hopes of punching through that stealth device?
2 3-dice shots at the front?
Because you Quick Draw's going to, I'm imagining, rage, baffle the stress,
take the shot,
and then take another shot across. Because you can potentially get 4 shots in turn, but against 4 green dice,
I think you want to try and strip the stealth device of both of them. So I would
completely with you.
split fire on both. If you move the stealth device, then maybe focus down on one for your actual combat, or split fire and hopefully do as much damage across both as possible. However, you're then sacrificing after the dice gods because you haven't got enough to modify. Actually, no. Rage.
With rage, you've got consistent dice modification, but you're only firing 2 dice attacks.
Yes.
And that is...
But you do get a reroll, don't you, with them?
You do get the reroll.
Yeah. So there is benefit to that, and that's something I did not consider when I made my my quick draw. But it's one I'm glad to see that it's being used.
So I think we might be seeing a shot from quick draw during the activation phase.
Possibly. He did. I think he did rage, and thus
he's raged. There's only 1 stress token there, so that's been baffled off.
He gets an attack. He's checking range.
That's also quick draw down a shield.
Yep.
Thanks to the...
So quick draw loses a shield of her own volition. This is the point where quick draw, you kind of wonder, is it worth it losing the shield? And I think maybe it is.
I think in this particular situation it is as well.
Yeah.
Because
the 2 shots.
Your quick draw is both getting 2 shots and isn't getting shot at this turn.
Oh,
is that range 1?
Is that
I think that's range 1 onto old Terok.
Ouch!
And that is, I think, four hits we've got going through there.
That could be incredible. Concord Dawn doesn't activate. There are 2 evades, but you do strip the stealth device off of old Terok and remove 2 hull. Or take 2 hull. Oh, yep. One. There's a crit. Oh, ouch.
We can't see what the crit is.
I can't see what the crit is, but that is... Oh, Terok's been taken down a half instantly. That's a very strong combo right there. Worth noting that these ships, of course, do have a stealth device. Of course, old Terok has now lost his stealth device. Let me quickly change that up. Stealth device go out. There we go.
That is not what Stephen wanted from that opening exchange, and it's a good move by Sam.
Yeah, that was really good.
There has done.
It's cost him a damage, but for that damage, he did 2, and he stripped the stealth device. That I think is worth taking that 1 shield off.
Really good exchange there.
Fantastic.
Now,
this is Fenrir with 5 dice, range 1 of the Inquisitor.
Have they forgotten?
She has.
No. Start of the combat phase. That is technically a missed.
He has missed the opportunity there because
we'll see if Sam's feeling generous.
Sam is within his right to deny it. It was a missed opportunity.
Old Terok doesn't need arc either. It's the enemy ship's arc that's important for old Terok there. So I think we might see.
Oh, target lock spent for a reroll on 2 stray dice. This is going to be painful. Ouch. Ouch, ouch. That is 2 hits and 2 crits on the Inquisitor. That could just kill the Inquisitor outright if the Inquisitor does not survive this. He's got an evade token, so he can evade at least 1 hit.
And that's the fearlessness.
And the fearlessness, that's 5.
That's 5.
So
I think even with those tokens, the Inquisitor is in trouble.
Yeah.
If he hadn't got those tokens...
Oh, there's an evade, a focus. Spend the focus and the evade if I were you.
Yeah, spend those. Stop yourself from taking the damage, because that, I think, would then just be the shields gone, and you do not want to be taking those crits if you can avoid it.
Yeah, I think he's doing it. He's spent, so he's got the 2 evades and the evade token. He's looking to see whether he wants to spend the focus, take the 3 hits. Come on, I would spend it. You're gonna die.
There's
no
guarantee.
Is it worth saving it?
Next dice roll, you're going to get any focus results.
Is it worth saving it for the attack and making sure you do get something for dying? I wonder.
But if he dies at... I guess it depends on whether old Terok's got a shot. If old Terok's got a shot, it's bad news.
It's bad news, yeah.
He spent it. I think he spent it. He's taking the damage. He's losing the shield.
He's losing 2 shields, and the Inquisitor already is on the run, which is usual because people are running from him.
Good call there, Sam. That is I think the right decision there.
I agree. That was a nasty exchange.
Yeah, Sam should be very glad that that token stripping didn't end up happening there.
And this, I believe, is the Inquisitor firing at range 1.
Interesting.
Oh, no.
So have they...
Quick draw. Hey! There goes old Terok off the board immediately. So suddenly things have gone into the favour of
Sam. Yeah.
Oh, unfortunately, Stephen was a bit too hasty. He actually had the opportunity to fire with old Terok if he wanted to. Say simultaneous fire roll.
I think he might not have had arc because the Inquisitor's only at planet scale 8.
Yeah, that's quite possible. That's Concord Dawn Protector, I think, there. I'm not sure why that's... I think it's because the Inquisitor is in play. and the Inquisitor about to fire back at him. So
he would have gotten the evade result and possibly still be on the board. Stephen's...
no, this is Fenrau.
Ah.
Because it was Quickdraw who fired at Alterok.
Of course.
With the actual engagement time. So I think...
And I think why we didn't see any simultaneous fire there is that Alterok didn't quite have arc on the Inquisitor from some of the measurements they've been making. Okay, so this is the Inquisitor shot coming in. On the upside, at least he's dealt with that focus token, so he's not taking the proton rocket.
So 64 advantage to Sam at this stage. Right, there we go. I believe that was a non-exchange there. I don't see terror. I don't see any damages on Fenrau. Quite a show to see. Start of the game so far. Quick draw.
Yeah, quick draws done a lot of work. And the thing that Stephen's really got to worry about is quick draw's still got shields left.
Yeah, and here's the Inquisitor. Here's re-rolling. I think it's a blank there. 4 dice. Let's see where it goes. Evade, and an extra from Concord Predictor anyway.
No, that was the shot from Riot.
Ah.
But even so, comfortably dodged.
Comfortably dodged there. So the Inquisitor survives around, Countess Reynard is untouched, Quickdraw lost shield, and still has 2 shields left to do her thing. And Cad Solus had no fire, is out of the game for now. It can Talon roll, but will that be too predictable, I wonder?
I think that boost from Cad Solus to
was a mistake.
Put him around cost, because otherwise he would have been in position to block quick draw, stop her from taking the action, which would have stopped her shot during the activation phase. There wouldn't have been any stress. She wouldn't have had the possibility to lose a shield to get that double tap, and you'd still have probably had Alterok on the board. So it just goes to show the nature of X-Wing. One small mistake, or just one maneuver that you think is a good idea, and then things don't quite pan out, and it's
it can cost you.
It can change the whole face of the game, as we've just seen happen.
So it seems that Sam was right to focus entirely upon range 1, 3, the extra dice in the front onto Cad Solar, onto Alterok both times, just wiped it from the board.
Yeah.
And that has taken down considerable fire going against Sam, and has also given him some extra points. Bear in mind that he's only destroyed 31, and that the 4 points for the initiative, the 5 points for the initiative will not count until the entire list is destroyed.
It's interesting as well that
the Inquisitor is stressed at this point.
Yeah,
it will have to do a maneuver to clear it. The best maneuver for it is a 1 bank, but I don't think it wants to do that. I think it wants to try and... It would catch Cad Solus and Arc, but I don't think you really want to be jousting with one of these things. The big one for me, I think, is Riard.
Given Cad Solus's ability, I am expecting a Talon roll across to Cad's left here. Get your arc background, get the double focus tokens.
I completely agree. I think that's the best maneuver for you. You get your focus for defense and for offensive capabilities there. Maybe you're going to get a couple of hits through, but you're probably not going to suffer any damage in exchange. I think so far it's been a really bloody match. Very quick, into the throat kind of style there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think Stephen was a little bit unlucky with the Inquisitor as well, because if Alterok had been a little bit further back and had arc, and if he'd remembered the ability to strip those tokens, the Inquisitor wouldn't be on the board.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with you there.
I'm not sure where Ryad's going to go
this
turn, because she's stressed. She can only shed stress by going forwards, so I think she might have to hang on to that stress for a turn. Maybe go for a 3-speed maneuver to bump with Fenrau, get that evade token, and put yourself hopefully into a good position to do something.
I'm not exactly sure where we're going to end up at this point, but we'll see where it goes.
However, at that point, you're then sacrificing this turn for a good next turn,
it's a brave play.
That's going to be a rock this turn, and if it's not, it's definitely going to be the rock next turn.
Close. I think don't forget Ryan could turn to a K.
Oh, of course.
So green K, technically speaking, and look at that.
Beautiful
that is
flying.
beautiful.
Okay.
However, I don't think Fenrir is going to be stupid enough to fly into her arc. I think that was quite predictable that she was going to go straight and then K to get into a good position next round. I think Rao is probably going to do either a K turn or a Talon roll to the right, and so that Terok
I can see why Stephen wanted, so Sam rather wanted to try for that barrel roll there, as I don't think Riot's going to get any shots in this turn.
Bear in mind that the stress token was removed,
and that's a focus target lock going down for Riot.
Yep.
Which makes sense. If you don't think you're in danger, if you don't think you're going to be suffering much, then
take a target lock.
Get yourself sorted, sort yourself out for next turn.
My rule of thumb, always take a target lock if you don't think you're going to get shot at.
Was that a 2 or a 3k we saw there?
I believe it was a 3.
Pushing limit.
Yeah.
No evade token, so that might have been a 2. No, there we go.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. So no one's wanted to fire at her this time because she's got so much evade going for her. She's probably going to evade whatever you throw at her. And here we go. Stay on target. So, interesting. Is he just using it for the sake of using it, or?
I think what he's probably done is dialed in a maneuver he knew he didn't want to do, and then is stay on targeting across to a maneuver that he does want to do, guaranteeing that it's going to be red, and making sure
that you see that's not Cad Solus, so I don't see why you'd want to do that.
Is that going to be the Talon roll?
I believe so. Yeah,
the Talon roll, isn't it? There we go.
There we go. Comfortably catching quick draw in arc there. Definitely catching the Inquisitor if the Inquisitor were to make a one.
I think Cad's going to have a good shot onto quick draw, because I think quick draw is going to turn in.
I actually think quick draw
try and keep Fenrir in arc. So I'm expecting probably a one bank, or you can't one turn from there because it's a red maneuver on the SF style. And you're still stressed, so
you want to clear the stress.
Yeah, well, I'm expecting a one bank in, maybe then a barrel roll to reposition if you feel that's putting you in a bad place.
Yeah, but then there's no rage, no electron baffle.
It's a good point.
What you could do is you could you electron baffle that? Oh no, it's when you receive, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So you can't just remove it. That's a shame. Oh well. We'll see.
We're gonna have to wait for.
Exactly what I thought. A one hard left to clear the stress. Potentially maybe blocking Rao, but I think it's the obvious maneuver. So Rao's going to probably position himself better and do a K turn.
Now, what I would do here, I'd reacquire the target lock across onto Cad Solus, get the evade token, and leave myself unstressed.
I think he did do that just now. Yes.
Oh, pushing the limit. Are we pushing that? We're pushing the limit.
Yeah, he is pushing the limit.
I'd have kept the option of a K turn open there, just in case I needed it next turn.
Yeah, the greens on the Inquisitor's Tire is not fantastic. It's one turn or one bank, 2 and 3 and 4 forward, but you're limiting yourself.
It's going to be a 4K.
Yeah, exactly as I thought. And leaving Rao comfortably in range 1 and with 5 dice, probably going to mean bye-bye Inquisitor this round.
No fearlessness, because they're not in each other's arcs.
Yeah.
But no return fire. From the Inquisitor, so not too bad. Raya doesn't have arc. I think quick draw, however, is probably going to try and pull herself around into a position where she can
fire at both. There we go.
Okay, so that one bank. I think that one bank isn't going to give you arc on.
Yeah, a barrel roll would catch you in both arcs. I would have thought.
You might just have arc on Fenrir there, but I wouldn't want to swear to it because with the camera lens and everything else, you can't always reliably predict a straight line.
No.
From here in the streaming booth.
Oh, but it seems that he is raging, so he seems to think that he has arc of some kind. Maybe this will pay off for him. He baffles, so he takes one shield off and loses a shield. At this point, I think he's starting to help his opponent more than himself. But because
it depends what happens with the shot. If the shot does damage, then it's a good exchange.
Yeah, we'll see. Ideally, he wants to at least shred one hull and that stealth device from Rao.
I'm always inclined to fly quick draw in a pretty suicidal fashion. Like, get as much damage out of her as you can. Don't worry about her staying on the board.
Yeah, it's a range 2 shot, unfortunately, so it's only 3 dice out the front. But against 4...
I wouldn't go for the shot and quick draw. I'd have...
Reroll, nothing for it. So there's only 2 hits there.
Oh, yes, of course, this is...
Da-da-da-da. That's enough. There's only
That's-
one.
Oh, no, okay.
That pushes through.
I stand corrected there. That was a good call. I was expecting that to go onto the Inquisitor and just try and, like, take the Inquisitor down, but not the Inquisitor. I'm talking nonsense. Ignore me.
So, Rao's Stealth device has been taken down. Only 1 point of damage, but it's a point of damage which you'd otherwise not have. So...
No, that's a good move. And
1 for 1 and a stealth device. Yes, I think that's worthy of that exchange.
Thanks to simultaneous fire as well. Even if Fenrau goes for quick draw, she'll still get a shot back, and I don't think that's what's happening. I think Fenrau's going to go for the Inquisitor and just try
range
and,
one,
try and
blitz
take
it
off the board.
1.
4 hits there.
You can't avoid that crit, so, and you're going to get very lucky on your dice.
That
Whew.
yeah. Sam needs to roll really strongly here.
And he doesn't. That's unfortunately
1, 2...
1 dead Inquisitor.
No, I think he's got the evade token, so that is 3. Only 1 point of damage, 3, but it is a crit by the look of it.
Yeah.
Just pray it's not a direct hit.
And it's
there's too much text.
Too much text for direct hit. It's probably bad, but well, let's find out. All right then. This has been very back and forth in this game.
Sam's still got a strong advantage, I think, particularly with that stealth device going down.
Yeah. Sam doesn't have the advantage, especially since the Inquisitor now gets to fire.
What's happening now?
The Inquisitor would get to fire at Cad Solus.
Are we not seeing a second shot from Quick Draw?
That's a good point. But if it's a missed opportunity... they're actually talking about it just now. There we go. Yep, quick draw to Fenrau.
This could be important.
This could be very important.
Again, there's a focus token. There's 2 rerolls from Rage.
There's a focus.
I'd spend that.
Spend that, yeah. Oh, that is blanks.
Is that blanks?
That's a focus. I believe that's Rao taken down. That is Rao down. That is Rao down.
Sam's just set himself up so strongly here.
That's incredible. And I now realise I didn't have the destroyed overlay on Old Terok. Oh well. There we go. Boom boom. Stay. There we go. Ouch. That did not go the way I expected it. I thought Rao would be the big beast on the board, but it seems.
I mean, to be fair, Rao punched a decent amount of damage through, but he just couldn't hang in there. And that double tap from Quick Draw is really,
I have to admit,
solid.
Everyone was discounting the TIE SF, but every time I've seen it being flown, it's been very effective.
I think the named pilots are very strong. I think the generics, like, they're reasonable. They're in kind of like generic T-70 territory, so kind of like they're B-list ships. They can do work. They still hit hard. They are still reasonably durable, but they don't have that kind of like real star quality. But I think both of the named pilots for the SF can do a lot.
Cad is going for points here, wanting to take down the Inquisitor. If he does, it means he lessens the dice coming at him in future rounds. He's got Quick Draw has to turn around, although he has got a rear firing arc, and Riyadh can then have to turn in.
Have we seen a shot here from the Inquisitor at all?
The Inquisitor, I believe.
If not, that might have been a blinded pilot crit.
Yeah, might have been a blinded pilot. So there we go, and this is key. There's nothing to modify defense-wise on the Inquisitor. The Inquisitor has to rely on blank green dice, and we all know how fickle they can be at times. Only one. The Inquisitor's got a good chance here.
That is some bad luck.
There we go. Oh, just by the skin of his teeth, he's alive.
If the Inquisitor can stay out of trouble here,
he will.
And the Inquisitor can potentially quite happily tuck himself behind Cad Solus.
No, because he's not got access to a K-turn. He's got a stress token. He must clear that stress.
Oh, he needs to clear the stress, but Cad Solus is moving first. Cad Solus, I think, is going to want to come in fast and close the distance. And then if the Inquisitor can just hop behind, not worry too much about getting a shot, keep the Inquisitor on the board, use Quick Draw and Ryad to try and deal with Cad Solus, and we could be looking at 100-0 for Sam here.
That could be impressive. I honestly went in this thinking that the 3 Protectors had it, and actually it's been the complete opposite. The Inquisitor's has taken a considerable amount of damage, and Quick Draw Quickdraw's only damage has been from herself. You know?
I think Stephen got unlucky with not being able to take the Inquisitor off in that opening exchange. And I think some of that was down to just like a hair's breadth mispositioning with Volterok. If he'd even just remembered to strip the tokens, I think he might have just one-shotted the Inquisitor there, which would have put him in a marginally better position. But to be honest, the person who's been like the MVP, I think, has got to be Quickdraw.
Yeah, come on,
because she's just torn things up.
It's incredible. I didn't expect Quickdraw to be so good in the meta. Yet this is a top table list. It's number 1 in the rankings. So you're seeing effectively the 2 best players currently in the best standings in the tournament, which after round 1, not really saying much, I guess, but still, and for Quickdraw to kind of be dishing it out, rather impressive. Sam has really brought his A game today.
It's good to see as well.
Yeah,
because I've seen Sam like progressively improve as well, and he's really got some strong potential as a player, I think.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here in the chat. We got Burn All Humans, how very mean. Commando Derasafano, Elfrit, Elthor, Sheep Eating Tats, and Waking Get. Sorry. Riyadh with a 3-turn there, keeping the stress. So she's not going to get any actions, but she has got a target lock. Wise.
No, the target lock's not there because the target lock was on
Fenrir.
But to be fair, if the reason that you're taking a target lock off the board is that the ship's been destroyed,
I'll take that. I don't. Why is he doing evade? He should have. Oh, maybe he forgot to remove the stress last time. Yeah, because the target was already there. Then the action. Yeah, I get it. He did a focus, got the evade from there.
I'm not certain where that focus token's come from.
That was an evade. That was his action this round.
But wasn't he stressed from pushing the limit off the K-turn?
No, because he didn't push the limit. The target was already there, and he had a focus, but he forgot to remove the stress.
That makes sense. Okay, that's
At least that's the way I think it would go. I believe both players know what they're doing, and Stephen would have pointed it out if there was a conflict. Both players obviously agreed to the state of play in the game. But we shall see. So we have a stress on the Inquisitor.
Are we going to see the 3 forward from the Inquisitor that would be the play I'd make?
I don't think it would clear it. There's more than a base there, I think. Just in that little gap between the 2. Ugh. Oh, and he's got a 1 in his hand. 1 bank.
That's
still
that's
good.
a strong move. That is good.
Gets him in good position for next round as well.
Reasonably safe there as well. No shots coming in. I'm at this point. If you're Sam, you do just want to like play for the maximum possible MOV you can get.
Yeah, that's it.
Because you are in a very strong position, and
I don't think that boost is necessary though. I think that's a bit needless act there. I think he was actually in a better position where he was.
I think what we might be seeing trying to be set up is a hard one round to the Inquisitor's right, then followed by a boost to try and bring Arc onto Cad Solus.
I don't know. We'll see that. And here's a bank from Quickdraw. Now this is the time when unfortunately her Arc won't come into play. She'll have to barrel roll if she wants to even get him an Arc. I would barrel roll and try and get at least a hit. Even if you can't get the double tap, you can at least get a hit. It's a shame she can't get it with the front Arc. There we go, exactly.
Yeah, because if you take damage, you're still losing a shield.
Yeah,
is the important thing here.
I don't think it's worth I don't think it's worth losing the shield at this point. You might as well just go for the damage.
We're only looking at auxiliary arc, and Cad Solus does still have the. Ooh.
I think it was ruled that she couldn't fit. Actually, you might as well try it.
Yeah, and see if you can get it across.
Yeah,
if you can get that auxiliary arc into play, you are at least getting a shot, and it's only a 2 dice shot against 4 modified green dice.
Yeah.
But it's still a chance.
He's being very cautious with where he puts the. There we go. I think. This is a mess. I don't think doing that would give you anything other than range. But you're out of range 1, I guess.
I think Stephen's being a little bit generous here as well, because in theory, once you
pick a side, you have to
template down.
Yeah, I mean, there's no harm in trying it.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't fit, you don't fit. Simple as that. You can then redeclare. I think this is the better move, personally. You're in range 1, but you fire first. You know?
Yeah. You've got a chance to
Strip tokens.
To strip tokens, knock that stealth device off, and then if Cad Sailors takes the shot at you and knocks that shield off, you get another shot.
Come on. Move it already. Come on, there we go. Yes, there we go.
Sam, this is the right call.
This is war.
We did see a little bit of a nudge.
There was a tiny nudge, yeah. He just realised that. There we go.
Good showing.
So they are quite categorically within range 1 of each other.
So that's range 1. That will be 3 dice out the back of quick draw.
Yes.
And that's rage. He's going just straight in for the rage.
How can he barrel and rage?
I think that is something that Stephen is about to question here.
Yeah, how can he barrel and rage? Okay, I'm going to quickly go
I think
there.
I think we might want to just...
Yeah, I'm going to go...
Yeah, because there's a focus token and there's a stress token. I'm not sure.
Give me a second.
Sorry about this, viewers. We're just trying to make sure that the game actually functions as intended, as we've got we think possibly a bit of a mistake made by both of our players here and forgetting that barrel was an action. Elpitz says the Protectorate's just too fragile. It is a very unforgiving ship on that front. You need to get yourself into the right position and then capitalise on that right position. And fractional mispositioning, as we've seen here, can just cost you. If you can get that range 1 in your opponent's arc, benefit from the Concord Dawn title, then it's actually quite a tough ship to hurt. And those stealth devices could have made some mileage there, but I think we've got a slightly tougher time. You've got a slightly tougher time with things as soon as you are even slightly mispositioned. I have to admit, I probably would have gone for auto thrusters over the stealth devices, but I completely see where Stephen was going with that.
Yeah, he was going for more evade dice more than results, which, to be fair, I can't blame him. But
have they corrected the state of play?
Yeah, they corrected the state of play.
Okay, good show.
Yeah. Was there any result from that attack?
I don't think so. I think we got 2 focuses there.
Okay, typically what you don't want. There's 2 hits.
Across, 2 hits.
Well, that's evade.
Is that evade? I'm not 100% certain that is actually the result Sam wanted, because if that damage had gone through and pinged that shield off, then the second shot.
Yeah. So
one of those very rare times where
we actually want damage.
Hit me.
However, he doesn't have any modifications, and he may just roll blanks and focuses again.
That's very fair.
At least he can try and do it on his own terms this time. Hit and crit from Riyadh this time. Ding ding. And nothing. So Cad still has a stealth device. Actually, no. Cad looks like he's lost the stealth device. Actually, yes. Cad does indeed have 2 damage on him.
Where did that come from?
We've missed that at some point.
We've missed that.
Probably,
apologies, viewers.
Probably from maybe it was a double shot. I don't know. But we've yes, Cad has lost his stealth device and is on 2 hull left. So really, this is a much more drastic instance than we originally intended. We could be seeing the end. I think we could just be seeing the end, and that's it. Shame. Valiant effort, though. What's your mind currently thinking?
Stephen's got to be a bit careful because Riot's moving first.
Yes.
And you don't want to end up with Cad being blocked. The temptation is definitely going to be there to go for the 2 Talon roll to the right. See if you can get yourself set up with a shot on the Inquisitor and try and score some points, and get the 2 focus tokens into the bargain as well.
Funny enough, Alexis, we had that argument on Wednesday. We had a Protectorate fighter off, one with Manaru, one with Zuckuss, and actually it was the Zuckuss build that came out on top. So not necessarily the case. Naturally, they had auto thrusters rather than stealth device. However, it was proven that you don't need a big tanky ship to go along with them. If anything, a small support fighter can be very effective.
I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that if you are playing the Protectorate, you just have to keep your focus completely on dealing damage and being as aggressive as possible.
Agreed.
Um,
Oh.
That's going to be a 5k.
That's gonna be a bump as well.
I think it's going to be a bump. You're correct.
Damn, that's not what he wants. Oh,
That's not.
that's not gonna fit. That ain't gonna fit. And now he's completely out of position, and this is a time when Stephen can completely turn things around and maybe take out the Inquisitor and or well, not Riyadh, but
a lot of it's going to depend on what Stephen predicted for that maneuver, though. If he's called that 5k, then he's probably in a position to capitalise on it. Though he does have stay on target, of course.
He does indeed.
So he's got that reactive positioning.
And here it comes, stay on target. And I believe this is where we're going to see a
try for that talon
roll.
Because even if it bumps, even if it doesn't complete, you still get the 2 focuses. And it wouldn't be brilliant. You wouldn't be in the position you want to be, but it's a bit less of an all or nothing.
He's changed it. Let's see where he's going. It's the 2 talon as you predicted, sir.
There we go.
And that fits very well.
That fits beautifully there.
It's like a barrel. You can decide where the end position is. So he's obviously going to shove it back a little bit. Or is he going to shove it forward, try and get range 1? I think I heard my name being called. I'll be right back.
No worries. So, stress token, because it's a red maneuver, but also because it's a red maneuver, Cat Solus gets the 2 focus. And this puts Cad in a reasonable position. I'm going to be interested to see where the Inquisitor goes now. That hard one seems more or less what we'd expect. I don't think, however, that the Inquisitor can easily clear Arc. So the Inquisitor, I think, is going to be taking a shot regardless. From Sam's point of view, I would double down on the defense here. I would reacquire that target lock, get myself the evade token, push the limit for some focus. But he's trying to dodge Arc. I think this may not pay off. Some very careful positioning here, which is good to see. I mean, at this point in time, you really want to make sure that everything is going.
Has Quick Draw just moved?
Quick Draw hasn't moved as yet. We've just seen the Inquisitor move position.
Yeah, but completely out of the engagement area. Although still in possibly an arc of Rao, which is. Ugh.
And that's what I was just saying. It's
Oh, okay.
So Quick Draw
still have a rear arc. She
still has rear arc.
She could baffle.
It's 3 dice. Rage and baffle. It's a white maneuver as well. I mean the SF only can 2 turn for the white, but there we go. That's the baffle. That's the rage kicking in, and
this is the point where he wants to start stripping those focus tokens off.
I think we may see Cad Solus go down.
Wow, 3 hits natural. Not even need to spend the focus. That means that's saved. That's brilliant.
This might be a very quick game.
Blank, focus. That's 1 hit through to Cat Solus.
But she's going to have a second shot. That's a crit going through. It's not a direct hit, at least. Bit closer to the camera.
Closer to the camera. But, oh well, it is what it is. Alright, green dice are up, and it seems to be we've got another exchange from Quick Draw coming. Could this be Cat? Don't
forget the rage
rerolls.
Still a focus taken there.
And spend that focus. 3 hits.
I think this is going to be game.
This is it. Oh, there's a saving grace. The focus. There we go.
Those fickle green dice. They are favouring Stephen just briefly.
Briefly, a momentary lapse of we're gonna give you something for being such a good sport. Thank you for playing.
So.
He's got a good hey.
No, he's making the right call. The range one is tempting onto Ryad.
Go for points. He's most likely gonna die. Might as well go for the points. The Inquisitor does have an evade token, but he's got nothing else to spend to evade. I don't fancy its chances personally.
We don't have a top cut today, do we?
We don't have a top cut. It's just 5 rounds.
Okay.
5 rounds.
So the MOV then is very important. Stephen clawing some points back here because we're looking at the top table does potentially make a difference, because if he can go 4-1 with a decent margin of victory, that potentially gives him a shot at the prize bracket.
Yeah, that's cool. And speaking of the prizes, today we have a Corran Horn for the top two, a medal. In fact, yeah, we have them just here. Yes, we have a Corran Horn.
We have
for the top two prizes.
Very nice Corran Horn.
One hit on the Inquisitor, and unfortunately, I think that was evaded.
Oh, that's a shame.
So, yeah. And so we got Corran Horn. We have a Predator alt art card. I love the Predator alt art card.
It's a really nice thing. As someone who plays Rebels when I'm not playing Scum, it's nice to see it there with some Y-wing action.
It's an elite talent that shows a Y-wing.
I'm hoping, as has been the case with a few cards they printed, that is a sign of things to come. However,
yeah.
So maybe we will see something like an X-wing Y-wing kit released for Rogue One.
Nah, come on! I think it has to be an E-wing. The E-wing really does the E-wing needs more help than the Y-wing does.
The E-wing needs more help, but the E-wing, as far as I'm aware, isn't actually currently canon.
It's not, but that's not stopped them from fixing things, and it's still
true.
It's still part of the game. X-wing is one of those weird things where it exists in a point where both canon and Legends material is kind of combined into one. It's a very unusual game in that respect. Here is actually the stress tokens we have as well today. Well, the acrylics. But yeah, it exists in a weird kind of lull zone where Lucasfilm has to approve anything that goes out.
Yeah.
However, there's been a game. This was in effect before there was the divide of canon into the new canon. So the games, think of it, the TIE Defender wasn't canon, and that got Imperial Aces, or Imperial Veterans, should say. They still allowed to fix things, because they can't just ignore a ship, even because it's not canon anymore. They've still got to make that viable in some degree.
Absolutely. And I'm in complete agreement that the E-wing is in desperate need of something. It's in desperate need of something that doesn't buff Corran Horn too much. I think Corran Horn could afford to have just a little something.
Little nudge, but he's very competitive as it is. You don't see him a lot these days, but yeah, I think we could see more. No black market slicer tools today. I thought we'd see more of those.
I'm surprised by that, because
we have one Lancer. I saw one Shadowcaster out on the table.
Oh, fantastic! That's good to know it's there. The Protectorate Starfighter is the ship that I am the most excited by, and the one that I am going to, I suspect, be flying the most. But I think the Lancer is going to be the ship that has the biggest impact on the competitive play environment.
That was a mistake, I think. He could have used Riyadh's ability to do a 2K turn, or even a 3K turn, and still be fine. And he would have still gained the evade and also be able to perform his actions.
That's the thing. Cad's not in a position to do enough damage to Countess Riyadh for it to matter.
The question is, where is Cad going to go? He's going for Riyadh, it seems. And if Riyadh had done a K turn, she would have had him clear an arc out of his. I do think that was a bit of a mistake there by Sam. However, the Inquisitor, I think, would be able to escape this.
Yeah, and I think that was Stephen's best chance at getting some points. I'd have been.
He's chasing down. Maybe not after all.
The Inquisitor might be in a little bit more trouble.
Not if the Inquisitor can kill it, or if he because actually so close he may actually bump if he turns. Which case, that's all for naught.
He's got the target lock in the Inquisitor, so if he can manage to tank through. But let's not forget the Inquisitor's got some
there we go.
There we go, yeah.
The bump, I said that was too close. He was going for a range one shot, but he turned in and, yeah, that's exactly what I would have done. Oh, dear me. And this leaves Quick Draw open to actually turn in, which I don't think she'll have arc. So that means we may actually see no shot. I don't know if Cad has a shot on...
because the last shots were from the auxiliary arc, weren't they? Yeah.
Yeah. So we may actually see no attacks this round. Unless, range 3 on a Protectorate, I wouldn't want to gamble with that one. Then again, it's no modifications.
You could potentially rage if you want to.
Oh, do you really want to?
There's no shield. There are no shields left, of course, on Quick Draw at this point. So there's no option for the double tap. But I think we are seeing that range 3 shot. We've got a target lock there, so Sam completely reasonably is pushing through for maximum damage here. What's that? I think that's 1 hit. Comfortably dodged. No damage this turn.
Alright then. So yeah, we're going straight through today. No lunch, full 5 rounds.
Yeah, you're completely right there, Elpitz. The Ketsu is really strong with that ability to put tractor beams into play, and from what I've seen as well, Ventress and that ability to just consistently keep stressing things out of that mobile arc is a real worry for anything that's running push the limit or anything that is reliant on its actions to a heavy degree, particularly when I've seen her being paired with black market slicer tools.
Yeah, particularly. Now, this is a very bad stage for Sam, I think. He needs to get the Countess to have Arc on Cad. The Inquisitor, if it K-turns, will, but I wouldn't want to bet Mars on that. Quick Draw is heading away from the engagement. She will not have an attack on Cad next round because there's no way she can... the distance between them would be too great. So, in a way, he's kind of put himself in a corner where one of his ships is just heading into a position which doesn't help him.
I'm not actually sure where you go with Riot from there. I think you just go for a 3-speed maneuver, claw yourself back away from the board edge, and get that evade token, and worry about the turn after that.
Yeah.
In terms of getting any shots.
Because I think Cad's going to probably do a right Talon, or a K-turn wouldn't take him out. He may have... He moves after Riyadh, he may see where she goes and see how that goes. Because if Riyadh does a 3-turn, that may block him.
And that's where the stay on target really becomes so valuable.
And there we go. It's a 3-turn, as is predicted. Which is a great position, because there's no way that Cad can probably get Arc on her, because you can't do a 1 forward on those things. And even if with a bank and a boost, you would not be able to somehow get Arc.
So I'm expecting Stephen to shift through to a left Talon roll at this point, and get himself into a position where he's got...
I fully agree.
A decent arc on the rest of the battlefield, and hopefully get that shot on the Inquisitor that he's been really trying for.
He did reveal, so by now it's a bit too late. Unfortunately, isn't it before or when?
I think stay on target is when you reveal your die.
Okay. Well, there we go. Changing the Talon roll to the other direction. There's the Inquisitor. It's going away. And, as predicted, that's the thing, is with Cad moving after Riyadh, he could just arc dodge her in many different ways, especially with stay on target.
I'm very glad that Cad is at pilot skill 6. As at 8 he'd be very dangerous to deal with. At 9 he'd be impossible to pin down.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you'd be talking Synth levels of ability there.
10 minutes left on the round. My apologies.
I think we're possibly starting the counter from the start of the match, whereas the counter maybe started from the start of setup.
Yeah, there's a bit of a difference between basically because we don't know when they actually start the timer. Usually it's pairings, and there's Quick Draw starting the slow turnaround, but unfortunately, by the time she gets back in it,
she was unstressed. I'm surprised. Sam didn't go for the is it the S loop?
Sloop, yeah.
On that, just get your arc background and then bring yourself into position to close distance into the fight again.
Well, that's 3 hits.
That's 3 hits, so...
That's enough! It's game! That's over! Wow, so the Inquisitor, the actual one that was left, actually took down Cad Solus. That's incredible.
Job done, and 100-0 to Sam.
100-0, that is impressive.
So Sam is, if he's top table... Now he is firmly remaining
top table for a while. Oh, look at that. 0-0 to 100. That is incredible. That's a really good list. Quick Draw, Inquisitor, and Riyadh. The Inquisitor is probably the weak spot, as we can obviously see. But he's not bad. With getting the evade on the target locks is very effective to action economy. You have a good dial for shredding that stress, which you can get for the push limit. Yeah, I think it's not a bad list. Countess, maybe a bit low on pilot skill. I would have shoved maybe. I think she got pushed the limit. Maybe exchange that for VI instead.
What I would probably have gone for the Countess, since there aren't the points to put the Time Ock 2 engines on there and give yourself a bit more option for clearing stress. Stick Duke on there instead.
Yeah.
Give yourself a point to play with somewhere, or give yourself an initiative bid. A minimal initiative bid, but still something. And Duke on an X7 defender just means that you've got this real punch. Because she's pilot skill 5, if she's still got that evade token by the time it gets down to her, there's a decent chance that whatever she's shooting at has already spent its focus token.
Awesome.
And that helps you to nudge the damage through.
Awesome. Well, with the 7 minutes left, do you want to quickly run off and get something? And
I might step outside.
I will quickly take our viewers through the list which we actually want them to see. So we know that James Bates